Hey, welcome to Toontyme, bringing you Newcastle news and discussion. So the big news of the day is Alexander Isak is unbelievable. Yeah, it's a transfer I didn't see coming. I heard there was paper talk earlier in the window, but I never saw it becoming a reality. As I thought, there was a budget that had been set, and the club was trying to keep to it throughout the window. But I think that performance on Sunday has got everyone in the boardroom and through the hierarchy of the club quite excited that maybe this is the time why the fire to basically take the torch and run. So this is the time to try and make waves, showing that we can be competitive, and players would have taken notice of that game and saw that this is a project that is exciting, and if they're joining a squad that's fearless. And so there are a lot of players who want that, and the club has pursued a player of high quality. He had a poor season last season in terms of goals, but he's proven his quality before that season before last, and he's shown his quality on the ball. You can see the talent levels that he has. He's already at quite a high level already. So, and he's only 22 years old, so there's a lot of room for growth and improvement. And having a manager like Eddie Howe, who you can see he likes to hone players and get the most out of them, see how he can keep developing them and getting the most out of them, showing them how to improve their mentality, their skill set, how to be more effective for the team. And from what I've seen, Isaac he plays in multiple ways. He can play on the shoulder, he can dribble, he knows how to hold the ball relatively well. He works in tight spaces. He's got a decent range of passing. He's got excellent technique, so he can shoot from a lot of different ranges. He's got a lot to his game. I've heard that he's poor in terms of heading, but that's something that can be worked on. And once again, he's very young, so he can add that to his game. He is quite slim, but I think that's just how he is. He won't put on much weight, I don't feel, for his game. And that's not his game from what I've seen. He likes to use his pace and agility to be effective for his team. So that will work for Eddie Howe. He's got good movement as well, good off the ball movement. So those type of things can keep being worked on. I've heard that he's also at times a bit greedy or slow in terms of making decisions. But as you've seen throughout pre-season and through a player like Sam Maximan, those are the type of things that Eddie Howe would try and train out of a player. He wants quick decisions in intense situations. He wants players knowing where the ball should be, where the teammate should be. So those type of things can be worked upon, and just dribbling for the sake of it won't be allowed in an Eddie Howe team. He wants it to be effective, and that's how it should be. If you've got someone with those type of skills, you don't want them just to waste it, just being like a flair player, just wasting time instead of actually doing something with the ball at their feet. So we'll have to wait and see as it develops. But from everything I've heard, Real Sociedad have accepted the bid. The personal terms have been concluded, so there's only a few things to be left to be done. He's on his way to Newcastle, I've heard. So his medical is probably going to be in the next couple of days, and I feel it'll be announced by Friday, maybe or Saturday morning. And if he's not in the squad for the game against Wolves on Sunday, he'll definitely be in the stands, and he may make the game next week. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with him in terms of that. There's also been the talk about Pedro that continues to carry on. We'll have to wait and see how that finishes. I've also heard he's been linked to quite a few other teams, so I feel like he does want to come to Newcastle, as this is one of, if not the most exciting project in football in terms of potential right now, and it would make a lot of sense for him to come and join. But we'll have to see. He may go to Everton from what I've heard. But if you can get those two, that's it. Just those two would make it just an excellent window. I already feel we've already had quite a good window, but the attacking players were necessary. The attacking depth is necessary, and I'll talk about why I feel that way in a moment. You know, so seeing these players brought in is great. I've also heard there's links to Conor Gallagher on loan, and supposedly Eddie Howe has outlined that he wants it to be um, any player that's loaned to Newcastle. He wants either an obligation or option to buy the player, as he wants players committed to Newcastle. He doesn't want any player he joins to talk about, oh, I want escape clauses or minimum fee release clauses, anything like that. That will not be allowed at Newcastle. If you join with the full intention of being a Newcastle player, and you know, not thinking about your next move. That talk of being a stepping club is no longer allowed at Newcastle. That's the feeling I get. That's how I felt when Rafa Benitez was at Newcastle, and he said it, and he never got the backing he needed at the time. But Eddie Howe, he's at Newcastle, he's embracing this opportunity for himself and the club, and the talk of you come to Newcastle to showcase your abilities to go and shine somewhere else is not allowed. You can't have that mindset, and that's the way it should be. If you join a club, that yeah, I know the reality that not every player can join clubs and say I want to be here for the rest of my life. Some may say it for the media, but not mean it. But I feel that's what he wants, so they can deliver full-hearted performances and not be lying to themselves and making decisions to protect their own prospects in terms of the way they play. If they feel a slight twinge or something, which can happen, or they've got maybe a slight knock that they could play through, but they say I will not do it. That won't be allowed at Newcastle. These players now, you can see the soldier on if they can, but if they feel like they're going to impact the team negatively, they'll step out the way as well. And that's how it should be. If you should have the commitment to strive and give as much as you can give. But if it's not available, if you can't do it, then step aside and let someone who can trust your teammate to take your place. It'll be horrible as a player. It's just the reality sometimes. So moving on, talking about the game against Tranmere tonight in the Carabao Cup. It was a decent game. Tranmere were quite committed, for want of a better word, throughout the game in their challenges, which is natural for a lower league team. They have to try and assert some type of authority throughout the game. But there were times where it was a bit much. They managed to bloody Jamal Lascelles' nose, as well as there was one tackle from one of their players on Cardalo. And when you see it in slow motion, you can see he nearly broke his leg. It was a really bad tackle. There are times they were just trying to make themselves known on the pitch, I suppose, because they know that the quality is not there, but the physicality can be, and it can work sometimes. Sometimes players will react to it. Sometimes they may be overwhelmed by a really physical team, and that's what Tranmere was tonight. And we rose to it. There was still poor performances, but we didn't allow Tranmere to bully us, and that's another good aspect, that mentality that's grown within the team, that Eddie Howe won't allow the players to be bullied by anybody. So Tranmere tried it, but it didn't work. It still came through. It helped when Kieran Trippier came on. It's unfortunate that Kraft had to come off for him, but he did provide the extra quality and leadership that was needed, especially for a game like tonight. Those and those set piece deliveries for both goals. Well, that's the standard we're seeing, and that's the standard you know he expects from all the players around him, and he's gonna help those players elevate their game. As the season goes on, and I'm glad that he's at the club. I was surprised when he joined back in January, but I'm really happy that he's at Newcastle. As I only knew a little bit about Kieran Trippier, to be honest, but he has shown that he's quite a player, both on the pitch and off. He's a great leader, great player, and I'm glad he's at Newcastle. Another player who played quite well tonight was Elliot Anderson. Once again, just like in pre-season, always making himself available, getting into good spaces, being confident on the ball, proactive, pushing the team forward at all times. And if the option's not there, making certain that the ball is retained. He's looking the mental aspect of his game. You can see he knows what he's doing, and he's still growing as a player. And Eddie Howe's very much treating him with baby gloves, just protecting him for now, just slowly bringing him through. Because he was talking about it in terms of he's not getting starts or any minutes in the Premier League so far, but he's been keeping excellent level of training, and that's what how we want to see that. Even though he may be disappointed to not be receiving minutes, he's always being professional, always trying to improve, and his time will come. He'll get his opportunity, and he'll take it from what I've seen. And yeah, I can't wait to see him playing some Premier League minutes, to be honest, because I really like the look of him. He's got a lot of talent, and you can see he keeps working to make his craft even sharper and better. And looking at other players tonight who struggles quite a bit, I was looking at Jacob Murphy, and I don't know what they're gonna do with him, to be honest. He's good depth for the squad, as he's a committed player, lifelong Newcastle United fan. But the quality at times, the decision making is just at times it's shambolic. Tonight it was just really poor. I don't know what was going through his head, but it was really not great stuff he produced at all. The defense done decently. They were poor on the Tranmere's goal. Just got caught. Just got caught out. It was like ball watching or something. It was just poor play. But they recovered for the most part, and they didn't let Tranmere bully them. So they done okay. Everyone in the team done alright. Sean Longstaff, at times it was a bit sloppy with his passing, but he done decently. Joe Willock was okay in the game. It's good he's getting that continuity, because he's a player. Looks like he needs to build his rhythm, as there are times where he still makes poor decisions, but you can see he's getting better. He's becoming more and more aware, knowing when to drive, knowing when to just release the ball, getting into better positions. He's slowly but surely getting better. Chris Wood took his goal well tonight. He was unfortunate with one of his finishes when the Tranmere defender pushed him in his back, but he done okay, and yeah, you can see he's trying, but he knows his time. Not at Newcastle, it's not over, but he's gonna be limited in terms of minutes going forward, unless Callum Wilson keeps picking up injuries. Then he'll definitely get games like the Carabao Cup and so on. Yeah, I'm trying to think who else played well tonight. But it was just a solid performance. They got through the game, and that's what you need to do sometimes. You do enough to win the fixture, and that's what Newcastle done tonight. So you just have to be pleased with that. And I also heard Martin Dubravka maybe going on loan to Man United. That's a deal that doesn't really make sense to me. For him, maybe he thinks he can displace David De Gea, but I don't see that being likely unless he's got better distribution. David De Gea is the much better shot stopper. He's just a better keeper, pretty much, I think. But I don't know, that it's a strange one because De Gea, like a couple of seasons ago, there'd be no doubt, but he still has that mistake in him, and it'd be sad to see Dubravka go, especially after what everything he's done, especially how he came to Newcastle. Total unknown, like, for the majority of us, I believe, and he's been solid Premier League goalkeeper. So it's unfortunate that he may be leaving, but Nick Pope has been excellent since he come, and I understand as a professional he wants to keep testing himself in the Premier League, and he knows he's not going to displace Nick Pope unless he picks up an injury or something. So he has to go and try and protect his interests and get minutes. So yeah, so that's it for tonight. Thank you once again for listening. I apologize for not coming on Tuesday, but I was busy. And wherever you are, thank you, and have a good morning, afternoon, evening, or night. Peace.